Hey guys, I was a bit late to the party, but here is my top 20 albums released in 2025. So I haven't listened to every single album, of course, so here's a list of the ones that I have listened to.
Winter, those distant miles etch their mark on each face. We played like gypsy wedding shirts, drenched in champagne. Went into catacombs and raised the skeletons from their graves. Now all you kids who lay your axes at the altar of song, may your voices be true, may your hearts be strong. But when you walk into the
Okay, so that was obviously just the album covers. Here is the list of the names of the albums. That gives us a total of 61 different albums. But I want to give a few honorable mentions before I jump into the actual list. First one goes to Bird in Paradise by The Cat Empire. This is a very feel-good album. I love The Cat Empire, and the song playing right now, Blood on the Stage, is one of my favorite songs of the year. But as a whole album, I just like the earlier works a lot more. Next one is The Scholars by Car Seat Headrest. I do prefer some of the older stuff by them, like Twin Fantasy and Genes of Denial, but I think this is very much up there. This is way more well produced, but that's kind of its flaw for me. I think the raw sound of Car Seat Headrest is the best one for me. Next one is a one that I can't pronounce, but I think it's a Japanese prog rock album by Bedcover. This is a very, very good modern prog rock album that I highly recommend listening to if you haven't already done it. Last one is a classic, a modern classic I think. It's Balloonerism by Mac Miller. This is actually the only one by him that I've listened to, but I am definitely going to make a deep dive because I really, really like this one. It is a jazzy, very experimental hip-hop album that I really, really liked. So here's my setup. The title, the artist, the amount of stars out of 5, my top 5 songs, and what I think is the main genre for the album. And at number 20 spot we have The Passionate Ones. This is a great album for me. I'm not normally that much into R&B, but this is such a smooth sounding album with just only hits. I think all the songs here are great. My favorite is the intro track, Automatic Love, but other than that, most song is pretty much on that level, so this is a great album.
Pero mi corazón nunca ha sido mío, yo siempre lo doy.
Rosalia's Lux is an album that I kind of feel bad for not putting higher, because this is a masterpiece. This is a perfect album. But for me, it just doesn't click like some of the others do. But yeah, some of the best songs here, my top 3 songs, Berghain, Magnolias, and Willa Choir or something. Not completely sure on the names here, but these are some of my songs of the year. These are amazing. And it's a nice cohesive listen. Songs just blend perfectly into each other. They fit so well together. There is some very, very heavy classical elements to this album also, but it just blends in perfectly with the art pop genre and make it such an easy listen. That's also probably why this is maybe the biggest album that I've listed in my top 20. Not the biggest that I've listened to this year, but the biggest one to have a place in my top 20. So yeah, amazing album. Next up is Guardian. Yeah, this is one that really, really clicked with me. It's an electronic album. It's a progressive breaks, is it classified as. That is like electronic, but it's very, very repetitive. But it is extremely atmospheric, and for that reason, it has to be repetitive to be this immersive. It is one of the most immersive albums that I've listened to this year. And I think it pretty much sounds like the album cover, if that makes any sense at all. The track Close Your Eyes is over half an hour long. That is a masterpiece. But so is the rest of the album. This is a very, very immersive listen. Speaking of atmospheric and immersive, now we have Seek in Darkness. This is a 5-track album, so this top 5 is basically just the tracks on the album ranked from worst to best in my opinion. Yeah, this is just a post-rock masterpiece. I've heard some people compare this album to Swan's works, and I think that's pretty accurate. But the thing is, I'm not actually that highly on Swans. I think they're great, and I think they are very impressive. But I don't think my attention span is quite big enough for most of Swan's works. However, this one is just perfect to me. It is entertaining enough for me not to get bored, but it's also slow and repetitive enough to be extremely immersive. So I highly recommend this post-rock masterpiece if you haven't listened to it yet. Okay, so Sire by Sire Grey is a complete change of pace compared to the previous 2 entries. This is a very easy listen album. It is a very poppy and very catchy one, but it is not in the genre of radio pop. I think this is a very interesting listen. You have some very beautiful tracks on here like Exhaust the Tropic. You have some just pure fun, catchy pop tunes like This Is Why I Don't Spring for Love. And you just have the addicting pop masterpiece Puddle of Me too. This is such a good album. I highly recommend it if you're just in the mood for a fun, catchy listen that could stick with you.
Please don't leave me. I'll always need more.
Okay, so Willoughby Tucker, I Will Always Love You by Ethel Cain is a devastating masterpiece. Fun story about this is that I listened to it first on a speaker while doing something else, and I was like, that was pretty good, but wasn't too impressed by it. But then I listened to it with my very high quality headphones, and I was absolutely blown away. This is a devastating listen. I've listened to it 2 times only, and that'll probably go a while before I'll do it again, because the way that Ethel Cain works with the guitar, the very, very moody vocals, and just the melodies is so sad and so hard to listen to actually. So as much as this is a masterpiece, you have to take care of when you're listening to it, in my opinion, at least if you're going all in.
And see the man that she married for money can't breathe. He's almost dead.
Okay, so Forever How Long by Black Country New Road was an album that I was almost scared to listen to, because this was the album after Anthem Up There, which is one of my favorite albums, period. And this is without the lead singer from that album. So yeah, it worked out pretty well. It is very different, very, very different. These vocals are way more cheerful. Anthem Up There is a pretty devastating work. This is a very cheerful one with poppy tunes about friendship. And I really, really like it, but it's definitely not the same as the old stuff they made. But one thing they do just as much here is they make these very long, progressive songs that are just straight up masterpieces. For the Cold Country and Nancy Tries to Take the Night are both some of the best songs, period, for me. They really stack up to the quality of Anthem Up There. And the rest of the album is great. So yeah, I am not complaining any bit about this work.
I've got a song that nobody knows.
Next up we have I Love My Computer by Nina Girachi. I think this is an amazing electro house record. It is a record that gives me a little bit vibes of Brat by Charlie XCX, but just a lot dancier, I think, and slightly less experimental, but pretty much just as good, I think. I don't know if that's a stretch, but I really, really like this thing. I think it's a fantastic record with the amazing sequencing from song to song as well. When I'm in the mood for this is the best thing I can hear. This is very good. I also think this record does something pretty magical, where it actually feels nostalgic, even though, yeah, it's brand new. So yeah, thumbs up for me. Next up we have From the Pyre by The Last Dinner Party. They made the debut album just the year before this, and I think this is just as good. I might prefer the debut just slightly, but if you have listened to the debut and you want to, you like that one, definitely check this one out, because I think you'll definitely like this one too. It feels pretty much like a sister album to that one, I think. Nothing really new to the table, but yeah, I was a big fan of the first one, so I love this one as well. It is just a very fun listen, nice indie, pop rock, glam rock. It's just an album where I think every song hits to some extent, and it's very catchy and very fun to listen to. Next up we have Vanisher Horizon Scraper by Quedeca. This is a beautiful album. The production here are top notch. It's probably the most well produced album last year that I listened to, at least from my opinion. But yeah, there are some amazing songs, some hip hop influence, but other than that, it is just art pop at its absolute finest. You have some amazing features also, like the one with Danny Brown and the one with Maruja, for example. As listed here in my top 5, both of them actually number 3 and 4. But yeah, it is a dreamy listen and it is a beautiful listen. It is a work of art, this album. Revenge Seekers by Jane Remover is by far the most overstimulating album on this list. It is such a fun listen. But one thing I actually realized is that I can listen to this in pretty much any mood and still enjoy it. It is absolutely insane. I love it to bits. The productions here are just... There's so much to listen to. There's so many details and it just goes crazy through the entire record. Psycho Boost, which also features Danny Brown, is definitely one of my favorite songs of the year 2025. This genre is not the easiest to listen to everyone, but if you can appreciate it, you're probably gonna love it just like me. I think this is an insane record. And from what I've heard, Jane Remover is in general just a super talented musician. From what I've heard, they made different genres and perfected them as well, like for example shoegaze. That is so far from what this is, and that is just 2 years ago, so that is crazy. I am excited to check out more that they made.
Oh yeah, by right, shot the dog and he died.
Patience Moonbeam by Great Grandpa is an amazing record in my opinion. It is a indie rock record with some electronic elements as well, and I think it just blends together incredibly well. And this record delivers 2 of my favorite songs of the year, which is Never Rest and Junior. Yeah, it is overall just a very pleasant listen. I know that many Great Grandpa fans were disappointed after, I think it's called Fall of an Arrow or something, the earlier record. But this was the first one that I've heard, and I actually much prefer this one. This one have a male vocalist for the majority, and the other one have a female one. But in my opinion, the male vocalist actually fits this style better than the female vocalist did. So I think this is an improvement and not a step back. So yeah, for me, this is amazing. I love this one so much.
You can call it easy, call it quits. Boys who make sounds out in the hollows of your head.
Number 8 spot goes to Race Mount Pleasant self-titled album. This album is very similar to the album Anthem Up There. I don't think it hit quite as much as that one, but the top songs here hit just as much as the top songs from Anthem Up There, in my opinion. I think Call It Easy and Emily are both contenders for top 5 songs of the year. Not just contenders, I actually think they both are in the top 5. And then a lot of the other songs here are amazing. Some of the songs here are just very pleasant, which is why it isn't coming in any higher. If the entire album lived up to Call It Easy and Emily, then this would definitely be number one. But yeah, as it is right now, it's still an amazing record, and I still highly recommend this if you like Ansem Up There.
This is culturally inappropriate.
Uncle said, nigga, you must be sick. All you talk about is just getting rich. Choke my neck, nigga, and ice my bitch.
Let God Sort 'Em Out by Clipse is an album that I actually didn't really get the hype up for the first time I listened to it. So good thing I gave it a second and third listen, and it made me appreciate it so much more. I don't know what I didn't get at the first point, because this is peak hip-hop in my opinion. This is an incredible hip-hop record. The beats here are amazing, the features are absolutely incredible, and every single song is very good. And some of these songs are some of my favorite hip-hop songs of the entire year. So yeah, this is a incredible record. Here we have an album where I don't dare to try to pronounce either the artist name or the album's name, but it is a beautiful work of art, this one. I believe it's told in Spanish, and I think it definitely tells a story, because there's this radio sound speaker that plays in between many of the tracks here. It is a progressive art rock album, and yeah, it uses a lot of horn instruments and just a lot of different instruments, and there is some incredibly dynamic songwriting, especially on my favorite track here, Pecado, I think it's pronounced. That one is crazy. It is so dynamic, and you have no idea what's about to happen around the corner on that track. It is incredible. I love it so much. But yeah, I haven't seen this album in many of the album of the year lists. Actually, I think I've seen it in one only or something like that. But I think this is a very deserving spot. I think this is a super amazing record.
So many dreams and so many bodies, so many faces all around.
At number 5 spot, we have Iconoclast by Anna von Hauswolf. This is actually the same story as the Ethel Cain record, where I listened to it through a normal speaker and was like, that was okay. Then I listened to it through my quality headphones and I was blown away. This is a bloody masterpiece again. This is very beautiful. It is not devastating like the Ethel Cain work. Instead, this is incredibly beautiful and incredibly graceful. There is something a bit musical-ish about this album, but without being any bit corny in my opinion. And when you can nail that, then it just becomes a beautiful masterpiece, like this album is. So this is one of my favorite of the year.
I found a crouton underneath the futon. Mama said I couldn't eat it cause all my teeth are gone. My personality.
Number 4 spot goes to the Viagra Boys, kind of self-titled album. This album is just banger on banger in my opinion. It is a very, very fun listen. The lyrics are hilarious, but they are also very real. That's the punk part of this band is definitely the lyrics, because the sound it's very easy to listen to. This was my introduction to these guys, and I think they give me a little bit of Gorillaz vibes, while also giving me a bit of The Strokes and a bit of Bloodhound Gang. I think that's an amazing combination, and then they're just doing it in completely their own style. It is incredible, and if you haven't listened to it, do it. It's a fun listen.
It's our differences that make us beautiful.
With Maruja's Pain to Power, we had reached an insanely high point, my top 50 albums of all time at least. This is a masterpiece. It is beautiful. This was another one where the first listen I was like, yeah, that was good. But after several listens, this just grew on me so much. All the songs here are amazing. There are 3 songs on this album which are borderline to 10 minutes, and the entire album is 50 minutes. So that means 3 of the songs here takes up more than half of the album. And they are more than welcome to do that, because that is looked down on us Reconcile, and Born to Die, which are all some of my favorites here. And Sarois, or however that is pronounced, is one of my favorite songs of the year again. It might be a top 5. It is at least up there.
Baby, let me dance away forever.
Number 2 spot, we have Getting Killed by Geese, the number 1 album on Radio Music for last year. And I think that's for a good reason, because this is a masterpiece of an album. It is a indie rock, art rock album. The instrumentals here are great, and the percussion is actually one of my highlights of this album. These are amazing here. And the vocalist, Cameron Winter, is another highlight of this album. I think he's an amazing vocalist. There is something extremely vulnerable about his voice, and it just shines through this type of music. This is my favorite work from Geese and Cameron Winter together. I think this is incredible. I love it so much. And there's so many amazing songs here. And I really want to give this a 5-star, but there's a 3-track run in the middle that I think is slightly weaker than the rest, and that is what holding me back from giving this a 5-star. These are the tracks Island of Men, 100 Horses, and Half Real, which is still amazing, but it's definitely the 3 weakest tracks for me, and they are back to back. So yeah, that's the thing. This is so close to be perfect, but not quite for me. My number 1 album of the year is a 5-star though, and that is
Through an obvious choice, the child born under sun, lift him up, we gon' hoist. When you yelling at the sky, hide the crack in your voice, cause outside, rejoice, rejoice.
Magic Alive by McKinney Dixon is my favorite album of 2025. Yeah, I am so happy that we have this new hip-hop name in the game, because he is amazing. Or he's not a brand new name, but this quality from him is definitely brand new. It is absolutely amazing. This might sound crazy, but I think this is actually my favorite hip-hop album of all time. But the thing is, I'm pretty new to hip-hop, or new to being into it, and my favorite genre in hip-hop is definitely jazz rap, and this is a jazz rap masterpiece that I just happen to like more than both To Pimp a Butterfly, Mad Villainy, Velour and Fury, and so on. So yeah, the tracklist here is stacked. There is no filler for me here. The first song, Watch My Hands, is a beautiful intro that really is a tone setter. As a song itself, of course, it's nothing too special. And then it just goes straight into Sugar Water, which is my favorite song of the year. That is a banger. Then you have some other great songs here. You have some very vulnerable songs like Run 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 Part 2, which I think is a lot better than Run 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 Part 1, or just Run 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 from Beloved Paradise Jazz, his 2023 album. Then Listen Gentle is another very vulnerable cut, and I think the one starting with R, Weekend or something. It's a French name, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think that's a vulnerable cut as well. It kind of reminds me a little bit of You by Kendrick Lamar. That might sound like a stretch, but it just gives the same vibe for me. Then you have these very high energy tracks like Sugar Water I mentioned earlier, Magic Alive, and yeah, the list just goes on. We Outside with Joyce, which is a very jazzy song. It feels like just a chill jazz song that also happens to have rap on it. The whole production here just feels so alive, and it feels magical, just like the name. It's also about losing a friend and wanting to bring him back with magic. So it is a beautiful story, and it is a beautiful concept. All the songs are great. It's definitely a perfect album to me. And then it closes off with Could Have Been Different, which is such a way to close this album. It feels like a conclusion, and it is perfect. I love this so much. Yeah, but that's all from this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye guys.